into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey guys, I'm Jon Manganello, and welcome to the AFTERBUZZ After Show for American Crime, Season 2, Episode 8. This is a very special day. We have a guest today, one of the most important people on this season. He plays the character Kevin. Here he is, actor Trevor Jackson. Welcome to AFTERBUZZ, sir. We were just listening to you singing.
Yes.
Amazing. We have a multi-talented guest here.
Yes, we do.
Actor, musician. We'll talk more to Trevor in just a moment, but first I want my panel to introduce themselves.
Hi guys, I'm Erica Renee Davis. You can find me on Snapchat, Periscope, Twitter, and Instagram at Erica Renee D. I hate you. I hate you.
What's up, guys? I'm Nicholas Grava. You can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at Nicholas Grava.
Hi, I'm Erica Jaye Green. That's Jaye. You can find me on all social media at Erica Jaye Green.
And once again, I'm Jon Manganello, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Johnny Mangs. We have someone laughing here.
I love it, guys. It's so good. It's no flaws. That was just perfect.
Where can people find you?
Wait, I gotta do it like y'all.
Yeah, let's see.
Hey, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Trevor Jackson 5 all social media sites.
You're a natural.
That was great, honestly.
You're owning the couch.
Nailed it.
Perfect.
It felt good.
Well, welcome. We're so
Thank you,
excited to have you here. We have so
Excited
much
to be
to
here.
ask you, and I just can't wait to dive into this episode.
Agreed.
So, guys, go follow Trevor right now. Oh, and before we get any further along, we need to announce a winner of a very special competition.
Do you have it?
I wrote the winner
Would you
down.
like to do the duties?
Yes. We want to say thank you to all the fans for the follows and for the attention, but drum roll is already playing. Okay, that's okay. Drum roll. Thank you. Our winner for the perfume giveaway is John at CJ Ramirez 49.
Yeah.
John,
I pushed for you. I'm just going to say it. You know, I was number one advocate.
The gift he tagged us all in.
That was
amazing.
great.
So John, can you follow Johnny? Because Johnny's going to be mailing it and he'll be paying for the shipping.
Yeah.
So follow Johnny so you guys
So
can direct
here-
message each other.
Yeah, so I'm going to direct message
Slide
you.
into them
Sort it out
DMs,
later
okay.
tonight. I hope you're watching right now. You guys send in questions that you have for Trevor. I
have a few. They've already tweeted a few up
Okay,
here.
perfect. Keep
Yeah.
sending them in. I'm looking at the chat roll. It'll be lovely. We'll have a good time. And congratulations, John.
Yay, John.
You're going to be smelling so fresh.
He's going to be smelling like Ariana Grande. It's Ariana Grande gender-neutral perfume.
I wish I actually
I
smelled
didn't even
it.
know
I didn't smell it.
It smells really good.
It's
I'll
actually
take your
really
word
good.
for it. Okay, yeah.
It smells like
Give me like a visual.
It smells like mahogany and roses mixed together. I don't know.
Oh,
I made that
that's
up.
good.
I
I kinda like that.
Smells
Okay.
like.
I just made that up. I don't
Do you
know.
wear
I don't know.
any specific scent?
I do. I like YSL. That's pretty much all I wear. But no, I mean, if it smells good, I'll spray. I was actually at Zara the other day, and there was like this little blue, forget the name, but the lady was like, try it, and it smelled like the ocean. And I saw water when I sprayed it. So I was like, I think I want to start wearing this.
Smelling like the ocean wherever
Who
you
doesn't
go.
want to smell like the ocean?
Like salt
But
water.
but exactly, not like the act, like what you think the ocean should smell like.
Not when,
Actually,
when
yeah.
you get there and you're like,
It's
that's
like-
seaweed.
I-
That's
yeah,
seaweed.
exactly.
I totally understand
It's like
the
the
difference.
visual smell.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a
Perfect.
whole episode of Seinfeld about smelling like the ocean.
Really? Interesting. Before we jump into the episode, why don't we talk to you a little bit about what you do, what you're out here doing, where you're from. I know you as well are from the Midwest.
Yes.
I'm too. You come from Indiana?
Indianapolis, Indiana, man.
Great.
Born.
And you moved out here about 8 years ago?
Yeah, 8 years ago in 2008, I believe.
Well, congratulations.
Yes.
Most people move out here and like are waiters for, a decade.
But he was like 5 when he
You're
moved out,
like-
so he wasn't.
I was like 11. No, but
You're booking
you know.
one of the most important TV shows on right now.
No,
That
yeah.
must feel good.
Wow, though, actually.
But no, I've been out here for a long time, and when I first moved out here, a lot of stuff wasn't happening. I actually, just to get my mind off things, I did capoeira for the longest time, which is African Brazilian martial arts, pretty dope. But I was doing that, and I did guest spots here and there. And
Sure.
you know, it just
Goes by like
gradually-
really fast though, doesn't it? Like
It does.
8
Thinking about it
years.
is just like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's like my home now.
You
Yeah.
being here right now is really weird for me because you like popped out of my TV and you are you have a different energy than your character.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you do. That's true. Because like you're really scary on the show, kind of. I mean, not scary like in a bad way, but a little bit.
Tonight,
No,
yo,
I think
tonight
your
they're on the
character-
court.
I don't
shit.
think your character on the show would say, "I smell like what the ocean looks
True.
like."
Oh, absolutely. He would
Yeah.
never. He wouldn't.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
and like when you're calling for Eric at the end of the show, like, hey, I'm like,
Those
what?
three,
Wait a
yeah.
second.
So now
Don't mess with me.
you act for sure, as we all know, but you also are a musician,
Yes.
which I mentioned a little earlier on. Can you tell us more about your music?
Absolutely. I just put out a mixtape / album called In My Feelings in August of last year, late August, and yeah, it's on iTunes. And I was really excited about that because I got signed to Atlantic Records when I was about 15. And
Hell
I
yeah.
kind of just, you know, I was really listening to a lot
No
of...
big deal.
No, no,
Just
but
that
just
15-year-old killing it.
But at 15 and being signed at that time, I was very green, especially in the music industry, and I just kind of listened to a lot of people telling me who I should be and how I should be, and that's why, you know, I kind of just had to separate myself and kind of become a man, and that kind of forced me to grow as an artist. And I feel like the In My Feelings mixtape is the first time I was able to really be me.
And
without
what is
people.
that? What is you? How do you
You
describe
gotta
yourself?
listen. You gotta listen to it. But I mean, for me, myself, I feel like I just represent any young man that, you know, is growing up and experiencing life, and you know, whether that be with women or whether that be with your job or career or things that you want to do. I feel like I'm just being honest. And I feel like that's why a lot of people could relate to this mixtape. So, yeah, man, I'm excited. And also, while I was shooting American Crime, after I put that mixtape out, I was working on the next project called Right to Speak. Like when I wasn't on set in the place I was living in, I had my 2 speakers, computer, mic, and was recording the next thing. So,
Wow.
just trying to stay moving.
Non-stop.
Busy dude.
I know,
Got to,
seriously.
got to.
Nice. I saw one of your music videos for Like I Do, and it started off with that really deep scene of a shooting
That's
at
a
a
true
pool
story.
party. Wow.
Yeah, that's
I
my
was like,
cousin.
dang, he
Aw.
was already talking
Yeah,
about
the
it.
main guy is my actual cousin. He got shot in his leg. He was at a
Wow.
party, and actually one of his own friends shot him through somebody else.
Ooh.
It was the whole situation. So then, but I wasn't able to like fly home. You know what I'm saying? I was working,
Yeah.
and I kind of sensed that he felt maybe some sort of way that I was, you know, not there.
Not there, yeah.
Sure.
So I was like, I gotta write this song, and it was funny because it started off like being about a girl, like the melody and stuff, and then I was like, yo, we need to make this song like a We Are the World type feel because there's so much stuff going on. And then after I'd already shot the video, my other cousin Mark Cotton was shot and killed. So I was like, oh, I've got to put this out because
Wow.
in my family, you know, everybody was just kind of going through a tough time, and I feel like that was the way we got through it all through because I had all my everybody in that video was my cousins, my
Wow.
brothers, my uncles. So you know, it brought us together, man. So
Yeah.
Thank you for
I
sharing.
like that.
No problem.
Yeah,
That's-
no,
that's
that's
for
sorry
real.
to hear
That's for real.
Man.
But enough. Let's go to the.
No.
On a
You know,
positive
It's
note.
fine. Consider all of this. So, okay, we're going to talk more about your career and all that good stuff after the recap. Let's
right.
start now by doing a mini recap because I want to be able to. I want to talk more about your career and your life.
Let's get it.
But we started out the episode in a way I'd never seen before, with those interviews from
Crazy.
real people, from Columbine, other people who have been bullied, picked on, the mother of the boy who committed
AJ,
suicide.
Yeah.
I thought that was really powerful
Yeah.
I did too.
and a break from what we were used to. I was wondering how they were gonna start this episode because last episode ended on such a dramatic note. Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting because I was looking at some of the comments on YouTube, and a lot of people are conflicted of who's the victim. So I think those videos kind of show like everyone is the victim in
Yes.
this.
Really?
Like the shooter, the people who affected, the teachers. I don't even think we thought about the teachers being affected as much as they were.
Right.
So I really appreciate them putting those videos.
Some of the things the teacher said, I mean, words that I had just never even put, you know, and when she's talking about the student that she always loves the students, and then she still says, you know, I still love that student in a certain, even though something happens, you still see it as a person.
But don't we
Yeah.
feel that way about Taylor?
Yeah, because I think we see it from a different side.
Oh,
We-
yeah.
The teachers. I mean,
Yeah.
from
Right.
the perspective
Yeah.
of someone who knows her.
Yeah.
That's
It's
true.
tough. I have a really hard time talking about the character of Taylor now because I still feel for him.
I
Yeah.
thought the
and
same thing
side
while
with
watching
him.
this episode when he's in jail, and I'm thinking, I'm like, oh my god, like
All
I'm
the stuff he went through.
I'm like fighting for this kid. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like even through his actions, I still want him to succeed
To win,
in
yeah.
a way.
Like
you
that's
guys-
what's so
Yeah.
clever
Sorry,
about, just not to interrupt, but about the show, like that's why I think it's so dope. Because to me, when I started I mean, while filming it is completely different from watching it. And watching it now, I see that it's trying to break down the barriers of our thought process. I feel like a lot of people are judgmental and like have preconceived notions, but when you see different perspectives, you start to understand why people make those decisions. Like my mom, why she's doing what she's doing. For me, why he's doing what he's doing to protect himself. Leslie's trying to protect the school. Like everybody has their own agenda, and it just makes it, you start to understand, and the perspective starts to change.
And that's curious that you say that, because throughout the season we watched the YouTube comments, and some people, most people are just vehemently on one side or another. If we say, we feel for Eric, and they're like, no, Taylor was raped. You say you feel for Taylor. People say, and what we have concluded and resolved on this panel, I think, is that we're not really shown. We haven't really been shown who the real victim is until last night, where we can conclude that everyone has been a victim. So people in YouTube comments, everyone's a victim.
I'm curious, as an actor on the show, do you know more than we do? Do you know what happened at the party?
No, let me tell you something. When we started shooting, Jon really said like 4 words to me. He's like, okay, you're a good kid. You want the best for you and your family, and you kind of like women. And I was like, that's all. That's all I need to know. He was like, yeah, and do your thing, right? And we started shooting, and every time we started shooting, once it got past like the 5th episode, we stopped getting scripts. Like, started blacking out, paragraphs. There was, the episode, I think it was the 4th episode, where I do the statement in the lawyer. That whole thing was blocked out until that day, and they switched the paper every time I read it, so it was raw. Like, I did not know what I was saying. I was just like,
Wow.
So it was things like that, and I feel like Jon really is such a genius in the way that he creates, because it's a lot of the things that he captures are really organic, not forced, because of the way that he does it. I mean, even like last season, nobody knew that Tim was the shooter on set. Not even the crew, nobody.
Sure.
Until he walked around the corner. So it's like
crazy.
It's dope, man.
Really?
I'm really thankful to be a part of it, and I just feel like it's teaching people how to watch TV again. It's very different.
I was going to ask you too, because we have discussed, and I have discussed with my friends, that watching this show is such a smart show. It's written so intelligently that watching other shows sometimes becomes a little bit difficult, because other shows seem very pedestrian compared to the storylines. So how will you, as an actor, move forward after working on something that is so brilliant?
Exactly. Hopefully Jon really has some other stuff. I would love to work with him again. But, I feel like if, stuff calls out to you like this does, I feel like I'll definitely want to be a part of it. But, man, it's crazy, the journey. Because when I went to audition for it, I had no idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, what it was. I kind of just went in there and was like, okay, this is some show. All right, awesome. And then I got in and was like, whoa, this is trying to like break down the way stuff is happening, and I always want to be a part of that, whether I'm making music or being a part of any type of television show or movie. I want it to be a movie that is trying to shift the way things are regularly done, because I feel like there's no progress without change, and people like to be comfortable. I feel like you got to be uncomfortable to grow and get better.
It sounds like you do that with your music as well.
Yeah,
so it's a recurring theme. After the interviews at the beginning of the episode, Coach Dan is talking to the student body, giving a speech about losing a student, how it felt like he lost a child. Also, Michael is crying at home. It was just a small moment, but I thought that was interesting. I don't know that I've seen him get that worked up. Oh, by the way, I want to ask you about this. When what was it, episode 1 or 2? When your dad came in to, was it your room maybe? And was like,
chucking me.
Yeah.
Not like,
exactly.
Did you, like
exactly. That's basically the
so
undertone.
Messed up. And we've talked about that a couple of times. Do you have any thoughts about that scene? Because it was such an intense introduction to you guys.
Yeah, it was cool. It was funny because we had to shoot it a couple of times, just trying to figure out how to really play, because at one point, I wasn't very defensive. I'm like, yo, how could you even say it? Like, was my initial reaction. They're like, no, you've never seen him this angry in your life, so now you're afraid. Like, so it was cool the way that we had to shoot it, but it was dope, man. I love going into different places like that, and some probably a situation that I would never be in, and us getting physical. It was fun.
Last season, Timothy Hutton was quoted as saying, filming was not fun. It was sad, and it was kind of awful, actually. Him and Felicity Huffman didn't even hang out, like, off screen. Did that happen this season?
I am the guy that people tell to shut up because they're trying to be serious.
Sure.
I'm the guy that's at the craft table, dude, do you want a sandwich? I'm trying to crack jokes at this guy over here. Like, I was always having a good time. When they yell cut, I'm like, dude, so what's happening, man?
Yeah.
To me, because I think there has to be some sort of levity.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're dealing with stuff this serious and this intense, if there isn't that, I mean, it does take away, in a sense, that enjoyment. And if you always stay in that place,
It's
I don't
hard
know.
to stay. To me, it's hard to stay. That's why I like to like break and like do something. Okay, now go back in.
Yeah.
But
Later on, Anne is asking Taylor if he's okay. She goes to visit him at jail and says she's going to talk to the lawyers. I'm wondering how she's going to afford lawyers.
Yeah, well,
She's appointed one. Yeah, he gets one.
a public defender, perhaps.
Sure, but do you remember last season?
And it's just
They were like,
yeah,
no, we're not
yeah.
going to take a public defender because we're going to lose.
Because we're gonna
she's a genius. I just have to say that. Lily
Yeah.
Taylor's a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone on this show, and I can't, and I'm seriously not saying this because you're here. The acting on this show is from every single scene, character to character. It's like I don't see in any other TV show, and it's unbelievable at that the grittiness that you guys bring on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we talked about how young a lot of the cast is and how y'all handle such heavy dramatic parts, and it's just phenomenal.
21, 20.
Most
I think
of
21 and 22.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Wow.
Seasoned
Yeah, it was
actors,
dope.
you know.
No, but it was dope. Like, cause we all were thinking that we're like, yo, we were on this show with these legends. Like, I loved him, dude.
Yeah.
Working with him, he's like, I call him Uncle Tim. He's just.
You have the coolest dad in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Andre 3000, Regina King. I mean,
Coolest
me and
parents.
Andre kicked it at the Super Bowl.
Like, okay.
No, we did not at the Super Bowl, but we were at his house at the Super Bowl, and I was like, this is probably the dopest thing ever.
Yeah,
that's right.
Listen, I'm from Georgia. I have a lot of people in my network who would be so jealous if you were kicking with Andre 3000 for the Super Bowl party.
That's crazy. You guys are probably having this bizarre experience working with these, but you guys, and I'm not just saying this because you're here. You keep up with them.
Yeah.
Like, it does not feel like there's the kids and the award winners and the Emmy winners.
Yeah.
It really, truly.
And you're so young. I want to know. A lot of people say that to be a great artist, you have to have some tenure or some experiences to pull from, to emote or to give an emotional performance. Like, what did you pull from? What kinds of experiences did you pull from to give us Kevin?
I don't know. For me, I feel like I've been this way since I was younger. Even things that I haven't been through, I've been able to relate to a lot of people, and I feel like that's why I can like communicate with. You know, when I was in school, like they would get me to talk to like one of these kids. He didn't talk at all, but he would only talk to me. And I feel like it's just because I can relate, even if I'm not in the situation. I understand. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's not that I've necessarily been through those things, but I kind of just say, yo, if somebody said you're going to jail, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna cry? Or are you gonna be like, oh, okay? Like, what are you gonna do if someone comes to you and is like, yo, you could possibly do 6 years in prison? I'm gonna probably shed a couple tears because I don't want to go to jail. Sure. Yeah, it's not fun. Nobody wants to go there.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go.
Nobody wants to go to jail.
I was surprised to see Leslie like sort of without
Wow.
makeup, a mess because she's so put together.
And to see even like the contrast of her in her home, which is
That's
so
what I
put
was thinking
together,
about too.
so sterile.
But
everything
you saw
is,
how blank, like
Yes.
it was just nothing. You could tell, like she just lives kind of a lifeless, like miserable. Like all her life is the school, and that's when you start to understand. It's like look at her house. Like she doesn't even
nothing, not a picture.
There's not exactly no
not a
painting.
painting,
Yeah.
nothing.
She's just like a tiger.
Yeah.
She's not a human being. I see her put on her dress, put on her makeup, go to school. I'm like, you're crazy.
You're a machine. She's a machine.
She is, but I do want to say this to relate this to my personal life or a friend that I know. I was talking to an associate, and she was telling me about how her parents, like she lost both of her parents, and so she's an only child, and she doesn't have parents anymore. And I look at how she interacts with other people, and now that I know a little bit more about her story,
makes sense.
It makes sense. So I'm not taking up for Felicity Huffman particularly, but like we can create these crazy backstories or use our imagination to think, how did she get here? How did she become such a bitch? How did she become so focused in on being a politician? She calls herself a politician. So I think that this season has taught me to be even more empathetic towards people's plights, because I can parlay this season to what I experience in my personal life with friends.
It's life, like this, what you just said is what we're trying to get everybody to understand in life. Like, yo, we have to start understanding each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta get the big picture. Like when I see things going, I'm like, yo, how did he get to this place? Like you just said. And so and that's why I feel like the show is doing it. It's like, yo, you get why Eric is doing that. You know what I'm saying? You get why he's trying to kill himself. You get why he's trying to just meet random guys and do stuff because he's trying to get his mind off of his horrible life at home. And his mom's nuts. She's the devil.
Yeah, it's awful. She's awful.
Well,
I swear, because I didn't know, and I saw the episode before this one when she was saying all this stuff. She's like, "Did you touch?" I said, "This lady's crazy."
Yeah.
Well,
oh my God, I forgot about that scene.
I was just going to talk about this.
Yeah.
In this episode, she grabs the brother and says, "We're gonna leave. Your dad did some messed up stuff to Eric."
Yes.
And she believes it.
Yeah.
She believes it.
Or does she believe it?
I think she believes it. I honestly think it's like it is repeating in her head over and over. She's
like, there's no way that he can do it
exactly.
unless somebody touched him, and the only person that's not trying to treat him like he's crazy is his dad. So it must mean that he touched him.
Dan thinks Leslie screwed his players over, and then
Dan finally, someone said it last week, Dan finally got some balls. Like he is crunk, and I love it, or lit, or turn, whatever the young people say these days.
He said turn or lit. Don't act like you don't say turn or lit. You know you say both.
I still say crunk. I still
You really
say
do
crunk.
say crunk?
I still say
Like
crunk.
from Emperor's New Groove?
Like what?
Emperor's New Groove.
Emperor's New Groove.
What?
Have you really
my
never
God.
seen that movie?
we've seen
It's
it.
a Disney
Okay.
movie, Erica.
I'm just making sure. You know.
See, even the producers
I'm
seen
old.
it.
Movies,
I say crunk from like Lil
Wait,
Jon and the East
No, I
Side
remember
Boys.
crunk. Yeah, I get crunk.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to go back to one point. I thought that the dad did. What was he saying though when he said, "I'm here for if you need something else"?
I took it as
I thought that he was fessing up. I didn't know
No.
when I was looking at the scene between him
Let's go to our
and Eric
resident
standing
expert
there,
on this.
and he was like, "I can't do anything for you," and he was going on a big old tangent to him, and finally trying to have a conversation with him, but not saying what he wanted to say. And he stood there and he looked at him. He goes, "Well, I'm here if you need something else." And Eric got really quiet, and it was just like one of those awkward moments. And I was trying to figure that out. Was that because it was said and said and said?
It was confusing for me, like looking at it, and now thinking about it, it is confusing. To me, looking at it, I think it's just like, yo, I may have not done the things that I should have done for you as a father, but if you need me to do, because he's not letting him, that's what he was saying. He's like, you're not letting me do anything, but if you need something,
Well,
I'm gonna go back and watch though. Yeah.
And
If anyone knows out there, please let us know on YouTube. Which y'all do.
I tend to not trust the mom. If your son comes out in this horrible way that he's sort of forced out of the closet, is going through this huge public thing, and just tried to kill himself, you're worrying about the brother?
Yeah.
Like,
And you have
that
to walk
sucks
out.
for the brother.
Yeah.
But come on, people. Like, yo, you gotta be making sure all your kids are okay. Like, especially the one in the middle of this.
But it goes back to what we talked about people being so simple-minded and being so, evangelical and so, mired in their Christianity that they can't see past that to see the soul of your own child. Like all she sees is homosexuality, and it's not consistent with her values. So not taken up for her, but that's how she got to that position.
Yeah,
that's generational. That's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we spoke.
That's why I like the father so much, is because I see him taking such a different stance. And we kind of talked about it last week about where he isn't making it all about the specific situation. He's willing to talk or not force a conversation, which some people, right.
It just kind of feels like Anna's the only one that's seeing her son for what it is and saying, "We're gonna work through this, no matter what it is. I see you, and I'm here for you." Like she's the only parent. Everyone else, the Dan had a conversation with his wife, and she was like, "Why do you keep saying I? Why do you keep saying me? Why do you keep saying that when it's the whole family going through this right now?" So I just only see Anne's like in it. And
but I feel like that's where I was confused on that part, because I feel like he was trying to do his best for the family.
That's what I thought.
In the beginning, he wasn't. Dan.
No.
Dan.
He's more worried about his team, but the moment that he's trying to be about his family and make sure that his daughter's all right, she's like, "Oh, you're talking about you." But he's like,
Becca needs her butt beat, by the way.
she does.
I'm looking at the chat roll. Dr. Lee 2, not to be confused with the first Dr. Lee. Says, a theme of this season has been parents, teachers, and coaches all doing the wrong things in order to protect their kids. I get that.
I agree.
I like that.
And Yeah,
I think it's a
yeah.
normal thing
Yeah.
to do. I think if we were to see situations, when we do see situations, I think that's how people are going to react.
Yeah.
But like, look at Dan at the beginning of the episode, sort of on this high horse to the end. First of all, I think he's doing the right thing, and so maybe I shouldn't have said the high horse. But like, oh, I'm this noble guy doing the right thing. To the end, when he finds out his daughter sold
you
the
think
drugs
he's doing
to
the right
Taylor.
thing, not turning Becca and not showing that there's consequences for
Absolutely.
Would you help your child bury the
I
body?
would help my
Absolutely.
child, but that's not helping your child.
No, yes, it is. I'm sorry. I think he, at this
My mom
point,
would have never. My mom has called the police on me for
Okay.
putting a pot in the kitchen for a little something.
There
I'm
she
like,
not.
Called the police for putting
crazy.
the pot or pot?
Yeah.
No,
pot,
not
right.
pot.
Oh.
A pot. No, crazy stuff. Like it was something so minute.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
my mom always taught us there are consequences
Yeah.
for every reaction. I got my butt beat for stealing some band-aids.
But that's what I would have done. I would have not turned her in, but I probably would have given her a whipping.
Yeah, they
You know?
sent her to her room.
I'm not taking her to jail. I'll be like,
Right.
listen, your phone, food. You might not get food for that.
But I
trying to
I understand the parents helping
me too.
to bury the body.
I get it.
I don't know.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right, but it's understandable.
Yeah.
It depends though, because like you, my mom is called RYDC. Back in the day, it was called the Retention Youth Development Center. Like that's where all the bad kids went. And I wasn't a bad kid, but she called RYDC on me before. Mom called RYDC on me. Why'd you do that? And, you know, like my parents were like,
I'm trying to think.
they were like, look, you misbehave in my house where I pay the bills. You're gonna pay the
you're
consequences.
out.
There's a time
So-
for teaching lessons, and there's a time when you are like, this is my family. I'm gonna
But
protect
it's
my
the
family.
law though. She
I
sold
know.
drugs.
That's when the time steps up that you all
Yeah.
like. It's all or nothing. I think.
Yeah, I'm not
Sorry.
letting my kid
Okay,
go.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
same
don't
here.
I'm not letting it happen.
No.
All right, I'm glad we've all discussed our parenting styles in the future. Perfect. So let's see, where were we? Eric's dad said he's seen Eric's sites. It's not, your phone is not a game, it's a weapon.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
That's some shit people write down in a book. that's like a beautiful line, isn't it?
I was like, what? Are you saying it's quoted from
I was like, yeah, what?
No, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, that's a nice line.
Yeah.
Your
No, I
phone's-
got that.
Your
now.
phone's,
Got that.
hey Nick, your
What?
phone's not a game, it's a weapon.
Sounded
That's what I
better
would
when
say
we
if you
watched it,
were
but that
meeting
was good,
strange
too.
people.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's true, but why did he wait so long to say something? You already
Well, like
know
he
what's
said, he
happening.
didn't know what
He
to
didn't know
say.
what to say. Like, what do you
Yeah.
really say?
What are you gonna
Never
confront?
knows what to say.
Okay, but that's a normal. Not every parent knows what to
Yeah,
say.
Never
say.
know.
You got beat up. I don't know what to say. You're doing this and that. I don't know what to say. Figure it out. You're parents.
Yeah.
Just because you have a kid, though, doesn't mean you're a parent.
That's a good
Good
point.
point,
That's
too.
a good
Good
point.
point.
My notes here say, these parents are terrible to their gay son.
Oh.
I thought my dad was bad. When I came out, he's like, oh, don't get HIV. I was like, thanks, Dad, I'll try.
Not to. Try not to.
Try not. Yeah.
Oh no.
But that's neither here nor there.
Sure isn't.
Michael feels vindicated.
I understand that.
Oh yeah, I do.
So
I understand.
Tell
that
me
too.
your thoughts on that.
I mean, come on, the guy. I mean, in his perspective, he feels like, first of all, this kid had my name on the list. He wanted to kill me. And also, he's just caused a lot of drama, and he basically feels like justice is being served. Yeah, he may have killed. Unfortunately, he killed someone, but he's about to be in jail, and I'm good with that because he's causing a lot of mischief.
Can I say something, though?
Please.
Take drugs and a weapon out of the equation. The interaction we saw last week between Wes and Taylor seems very similar to the interaction we saw between Terry and Anne. Does that make sense? In the diner. Like, one person coming into this other person's place
Yeah.
and just going ballistic. I mean, Terry even admits that. I'm not saying Terry is going to murder Anne, but, like, we've seen people lose their cool on this.
Oh, yeah, for
in this
sure.
episode. And actually hearing from these real life people about how horrible they're treated, I'm starting to more and more understand why people lash out. Not excusing it, I'm starting
But
to
understand it 100%.
Yeah.
I always think about, this is a little bit off, how this would all look, you know, when someone else is looking at it in just watching it on the news. This whole, you know, we see this side of every single family, but what, you know, 2 towns over, they're just watching the news as we would be watching the news, you know, in today's society. And what are they being told, and what conclusions are they drawing, and how different is it from what we see, because we're getting to see everything.
I think we have seen in the comment sections what people see. They choose their side. they stick with it regardless. It doesn't matter what we say. It doesn't matter that the story has so many ambiguities to it. Like they just say, okay, I'm with Taylor. They commit to their side. So
I feel like they can only commit though because it's through technology. Like if they were challenged, I feel like in a room like this, the answer would definitely change.
But that's the issue.
Or they would be more, because you can say anything and be like, yep, no, this is me, and I'm not gonna look at my phone now, even if you respond. Like, you know?
I mean, with all of that, that's the issue with getting with it, like it going to trial. See, if you get judged in the society first, that's what the whole issue right now with Taylor and his mom is trying to figure out. And it's like, that's always happening. The society wants to put their voice in it and say, we're already going to condemn this person. We don't have all the facts and stuff like that. And that brings a bigger issue. And I wonder why people don't see that. It's not I know it's easy to say it's none of your business, stay out of it, but it's like when people start condemning people, and we saw a little snippet from next week that it's going to be like cyberbullying. Now it's going back and forth. What's the end game of all of this, you know?
Boredom, or, you know, not really, I don't know, an outlet. I feel like people that don't really, you know, and it's about what we're talking about, people who just don't have love in their life or been given love, they ain't got nothing to do, man. That's why I know like a lot of people who live and die by social media, and they were like, "Oh, if I don't get these many likes, or if this person," I'm just like, "Yo, dude."
If your handle's not spelled correctly on AfterBuzz.
Yeah, I don't want to.
If your handle's, you don't got the 3 extra N's on my handle.
This is kind of off topic.
I fixed it, Johnny.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Y'all should have seen what happened before.
I was talking to a friend about professional pickuppers. They professionally like work a room, and he was talking about how he wanted to have a governmental program where people learn how to just associate themselves with people, because a lot of the crime and anger is coming from frustration of not being able to talk to people,
get your point across,
like
exactly
that. And I thought, to me first, I was like, wow, this is a real thing. I was kind of taken back. He was like, yes, it's a society and people know about it. I was like, do people know about it? But apparently they've, you know, been on talk shows and stuff like that, and that came to me. I was like, wow, that could actually work. All of us actually caring about each other and talking to each other could actually stop some of this what's going on.
And it's like, once you get to that point, it's like you understand, even if you guys aren't on the same page, you get it, and you just, you know to separate yourself. But people, when they, like you said, if they don't want to express themselves, they bring out the guns, their pride gets hurt because they can't, you know.
Because Taylor was socially awkward. We can all say that. He was pretty socially awkward. He had friends, but he still felt like an outcast. I mean, we all felt like that before.
There were 2 confrontations in this episode. One was between Dan and Leslie. Leslie says, Dan, people have been talking to you about taking a position, and he's like, well, you've been manipulating people. You don't care about the kids. My boys got accused. One boy got accused. One boy tried to kill himself. One boy got murdered. And Leslie said, what would you have done? I did what a politician did, which one of you mentioned earlier. That's what they brought me here to do.
And I'm proud of Dan for finally standing up to Leslie, and I love how the writers have shown the switches between their characters. Now Dan is all of a sudden in control, although he's not the politician type. He is now in a more of a leadership role, and yes, Leslie was brought there to be a politician, and I think that she has successfully completed her job. And unfortunately, I say successfully.
No,
I say successfully.
No.
I say. Let me.
I know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? I need to choose my words more carefully. But yeah, I mean, she has done what she was brought in to do. Like politicians, we love them, we hate them. You know, you vote for somebody, 4 years later you hate them. But they came in to do a certain job. Leslie came in to do her job, and she helped.
What? Why are you getting fired? I'm on the same page with this so far.
She helped maintain the facade of affluence and of togetherness and of cohesiveness at the expense of students' lives.
Right.
But it's a facade, and she did what she was hired to do.
Yeah, but that facade is the reason all this is going down. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, politicians, that word was thrown around so much. I think we heard it maybe 3 or 4 times in this episode, and I was just like, what are politics doing in the school? We see that's not working. Having the politics in the school, that doesn't help the kids. That's not going to nurture the kids. Schools, I thought schools were there to be for the children. Your children spend more time at school than when.
But it also depends on the type of school.
Right. Yeah.
Because you know, public school and all that. But I've even been to, like just visiting like different private schools, and it's different. It's weird.
It's ran like a business.
That's money.
It's exactly like that, and it's just like very Okay. Like
they need donors. They need money. How do we get that? Our public image got to be good.
Oh, do they have a famous parent? Oh, we'll take them for free.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's weird.
Terry meets with the woman she fires in the first episode and sort of
I was
killed that scene, by the way.
Yeah, and I was so surprised to see that. We always talked about that, about how that spoke to her character, and I was really satisfied with her sitting down.
She says that she couldn't handle seeing this woman of color failing because that meant that Terry could fail. I thought that was really
because though she was right to fire her and she was right not to have the job, but yet she could still lead her and help her in
the right direction.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of she did it real cool.
It's compassion. It's like the receptionist talking to Taylor out there. It's the slightest form of compassion that honestly is just a ripple effect and changes so much.
Right. Sebastian gets a motel room, travels to meet up with
his two daughters. He's bringing the family.
Sebastian is doing the most right now.
I'm excited.
Like, can he not just be like a cyber genius from it's the internet?
I'm so excited.
Do you know what he's doing?
I've been asking that question every time we have any press junkets where we're all together. I'm just like, dude, and they won't tell me. I'm like, what does he do?
That's what I'm trying to.
He's like a vigilante or something.
Yeah, he's doing something. And every time he's talking, like you said, it's like a Superman or Batman line. He's like, no, I can help you in ways that nobody else can. It's like, what's the freak?
Could you elaborate?
What is he
tell me
doing?
to do it and I'll do it.
Exactly. I was like,
why can't you
okay.
just do it without me telling you to do it? I don't know.
He's about to put on a suit and save somebody.
I'm going to speed through the rest of the recap so we can actually have a good conversation about our special guest here today, because that's important. So just bear with me real quick. Becca tells her dad she sold Taylor drugs before he was shot. They were her mom's drugs, and then Dan confronts the mom. The mom's like, wait, we have to say something, and he's like, no, you can't. And it's just a mess, and I feel for them, and we talked about that.
Yeah. I'm glad Dan scolded her as much as he did. I know some people don't believe in hitting your kids, but I would have slapped the hell out of her. I would have slapped that girl in her face.
I told you not to sell them.
I would have slapped this girl in her face. Really?
In her face.
And then we have this amazing moment between Trevor.
I'm sorry, you don't sell drugs.
No, I'm with. Listen, I was smacked as a child quite a few times, and I ain't selling drugs on the street.
So Kevin meets up with Eric. Kevin says he never told them to do anything, which
that was a lie.
Because he gave the speech. I love how we're talking about him.
He didn't.
You did give the speech though at the.
But I did not say to do anything.
You were rousing up the troops. You were an instigator.
Say anything.
You were an instigator.
But you were the general of the battle, weren't you?
I was just expressing. It was more of a feeling of, yo, this kid is getting a lot of. Well, no, there's a lot going on due to this kid doing this, and I was like, none of this would be happening if it wasn't for him. It was like, dude, man, I just, it was it was an impulse type thing.
You have to very open-ended.
You called Taylor a faggot, right?
No.
Who called him?
Call him a bitch.
A
bitch.
Like 7 times I called him.
Yeah.
Great. So again, this ripple effect of words, right? Sort of affecting.
Yeah.
And they took that to heart.
Now, do you feel? What's the word I'm looking for? Do you get defensive when people talk about Kevin?
No, the character.
You don't.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a character.
Sure.
It's not me.
Oh, right. Thank you. So, because you were just defending him, you were saying.
Oh yeah. In a sense, yeah.
Anyway, Kevin says it had nothing to do with him. Eric says, put all this on. Oh, he said that Kevin was putting this all on him, but he got the drugs, he got the girls, he had the party. Where were you? You read the statement to the lawyers, and that was it.
And you didn't help my dad when he came to your parents to beg for help.
But I wasn't there.
Right, and that was right because he wasn't there. It was his parents that did that.
And you tried to tell your parents. You said, if I'm a good friend, you teach me to be a good man. Yes.
Okay. Oh man!
I've read some interesting comments about your character on YouTube. Stream King said Kevin is shady boots to me. Yeah. I feel like Kevin and Eric.
He does have on boots.
Wait. Hold on to your seat. I feel like Kevin and Eric had a down low sexual relationship, and Kevin got the drugs from the coach's daughter and drugged Taylor.
You have to understand that we don't know, so we're wondering,
is
Kevin involved?
Who
knows what's going on?
That's several comments.
I don't know anything.
And we have someone on the chat right now. You guys, we have a guest here. You can't talk about him like this. Kevin is a little manipulator. I don't trust him. What thoughts on this?
No, because
Kevin is a man just trying to do that.
I think you are the equivalent to the kids what Leslie is to the administrators.
Not as much. I don't see it as drastic. Like
maybe
I'm Leslie.
I
know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
Because people look up to you like you're the good-looking kid. You're the captain. You're the star. You're rich. Your parents are good-looking and rich and successful.
Erica's just trying to flirt with Kevin.
Oh my God, he's like 10 years old.
No, the character.
No, he said the character.
He's imaginary. He doesn't exist.
Yeah.
and steamy up in here.
I feel that people they are. I hate everybody in this room right now. Okay,
guys.
I feel that you're the manipulator of the kids, of the high school kids. Like
Well, in what way have I manipulated?
You encourage those kids, although you didn't say it verbatim. You encourage them to go beat up Taylor. You supply the drugs allegedly. You bought the girl a $900 bracelet. You should have done that. You knew that was
Is
wrong.
that not an honest, genuine move for a chick that you like?
Yeah. Hold on.
You know you want a $900 bracelet. Anybody would
glad.
bring you a $900 bracelet.
Stop.
You're gonna be like,
I don't agree at
oh.
all. I really do not agree at all. I think, like you said, when at the beginning of the season, when they told you what your character was like, he is watching out for himself. He's not instigating. He doesn't have intentions for the. I don't think. He was venting at the
See what
table.
I'm talking about?
They took what they.
You see what I'm talking
No,
about?
I'm dead serious. I'm talking about Kevin. I ain't talking about Trevor.
All right, you guys. Let's talk about the last bit of the episode where Sebastian meets Anne and says whoever posted her medical records was trying to attack her and that he can do something to help.
But like, what's he gonna do?
I mean,
they're there. It's the internet.
What we see. Well, we see next episode. He
said it's not
hacks
like the
into the.
physical world.
He could have done that from anywhere in the world. I don't know why he drove toward the
I mean, it don't look like a good motel.
No, because she hung up on him though, remember?
Yeah,
yeah.
multiple times.
And he was like, you need to understand, like, I'm a good guy. Like, I'm trying to help
But
you.
what's his motive?
Yeah.
What's his
That's what I wish I knew.
It's just good people in the world. I just want to.
No, he's not good people.
Maybe he's like
Yes, I think he's good people.
I don't think he's good people.
I don't know.
He has a hidden
a
agenda.
hacker.
Reminds me of the
I
season
don't know.
1 when what's her name? The lady that was there to advocate for her.
The Anne.
Yeah. No, what was her character's name though? I don't remember.
know.
But that reminds me of a
She kept
character
calling
just
her
like
the
that.
advocate, and everyone was like, "You need to learn her name."
Learn
And
the
we were like,
they
"Yeah,
didn't
you're
say
right."
her name for like a few episodes.
Oh yeah,
in my
the
defense.
lady. We don't know her
The
name.
advocate.
We never knew her
Thank
name.
you. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Moving on.
Okay.
Aaron Robinson,
Hey,
fan of
Aaron.
the show. Hi, Aaron.
What's up,
She
Aaron?
says Kevin has just been trying to get away clean this whole season.
Just like Leslie.
Thoughts on this?
I guess you could say that, but I also feel like it's due to his parents and their kind of wants for him. Because there's a lot of times, like we were discussing before, he wanted to tell and be like, yo, that's my homie. Like, I don't want to just... They're like, no, you need to do... And I feel like it's more of them. And I feel like that's the whole part of Kevin's journey is he is becoming a man and he's starting to realize sometimes even his mom is wrong in the decisions that she makes. So I feel like a lot of the time he was just trying to please... He's trying to please everybody. He's trying to please his parents. He's trying to please his friends. But at the end of the day, he's going to have more loyalty to his parents than he's going to have to his friends. So if they're like, no, you need to blah, blah, blah... You know, I mean, I don't want to, but my mom's saying it's the right thing to do.
In that situation, you're gonna listen, yeah.
But you know what? In the beginning, if it was just what Kevin was was getting in trouble for, was bringing the alcohol and stuff like that. Who in high school didn't go to those parties and somebody brought the alcohol and stuff? Should your life be ruined?
Well,
for that?
I think-
I don't know
Right.
what else. Is
When-
No, you're
when-
right. You're right about
so
that.
I don't think he should go down. His life should be ruined for I'm a young kid having a party, bringing alcohol and drugs because. That's what
Who
kids do.
right.
Yeah, I
No,
don't know
it's
the
true.
rest of the story, but to have your life ruined for Kevin's life to be ruined for that, I understand
But
how
it's
his family
potentially
is.
being ruined because there was a rape there.
Right. It's when something like that happens
but to
that
put it all like saying, it's all on Kevin. It's largely Kevin's responsibility because he brought the joint. I
Yeah.
was like, is there more to this? I was like, waiting, is there more? Did he do something else?
I think in court, if it ever went in court, I think that's where we'd see that sympathy from a jury would understand that. I would assume, but who's to ever know
I
or
don't
say?
That's my thoughts.
So that was the recap of the episode. There's so much to talk about.
Let's do it.
I want to ask you now sort of about filming and what the process was like. I know we touched on it earlier, but where did you guys film?
Austin, Texas.
Yes.
How long were you guys there filming
I was
for?
there for like 4 months.
Oh wow.
3 months. Like I went there in late August and was there until December 11th.
Did you all get really close as you were
Yeah,
filming?
absolutely. Me and Angelique got really tight. We kicked it. Me and Joey. And it was hard too because a lot of us we shot on different days.
Yeah.
Like, there would be a week where I'd shoot like 5 days a week, and then they'd shoot like 2, and then be vice versa. They'd shoot like 5. So we
Sure.
were never really on, set together. But no, it was dope, man. Like I said, we hung out. I met a lot of people in Texas. Actually, me, Wes, and Andre, who plays with Sean, we were going out, hanging out.
Texas people are friendly.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Good food? Good food?
Great food. Lambert's,
In Austin.
Black's, and what was the other one? There was another one, the barbecue place. Black's.
So many barbecue places.
Salt Lake. Salt Lake barbecue.
Okay.
You guys are such young actors. How do you stay grounded? How do you stay, like out of the trouble that the students on this show are facing? Like, what do you do when you're not on set? And do you see yourselves in this? Like, do you see yourselves falling into the same traps that these students fall into?
No, I mean, I feel like I've been in it for a while, so I kind of know my limitations of where I can go, and if I do want to make decisions, I know where to make them.
Sure.
And because now the phones come out everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's true.
So that's why I don't club. I don't go to parties. You know what I'm saying? I'm very
Smart.
I'm either in the studio, and if I do have people that come to the studio and the door, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So yeah, man. But I keep grounded by just my family. I have a lot of faith in God and why I'm here, and I feel like if everything comes out of good intentions and you got the love for what you're doing and the heart is right, then everything's gonna work out.
Cool.
like that a
That's
lot.
great to hear.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any burning questions?
Please keep them coming.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to know what did you find the most challenging about? Well, I mean, of course, you've already told us like they would black out the script. You didn't know, but like just being on set every single day. What was the most taxing thing about being on set every day?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Hold on. The hardest thing. I mean, I guess this wasn't hard, but it was one of those things. I was just like, dang, like, you gotta be emotional every time.
Every day.
Sometimes I wake up and I'm just like, hey, I just want to have a good day today. But no, I gotta talk about somebody who was shot.
Right.
Yeah.
And raped. It's horrible. Right. But I mean, you get over it. It was fun, and that's what I'm saying. Like in between scenes,
Sure.
I was always, you know what I'm saying. I had this sandwich on set. I eat like 4 a day. They called it Trevor sandwich. Every time the ADs hated me. I was like, hey, can I get another Trevor sandwich? They're like, can we get Trevor another Trevor sandwich?
What was in the sandwich?
It was 2 pieces of cheddar cheese, turkey, mayo, mustard.
I cannot.
So you're one of those. Like you're like you got the J-Lo. I need
Like
to
this
have
big.
Salmon and veggies.
No, that sounds so good.
No, and they were like, oh my God, do we need to get? Every time I arrived on set, they were like, you want us to get a Trevor sandwich started? I was like, yes.
Yes. My
It was
God.
awesome. That was my favorite part.
And you were the comic relief on set. it
Yeah.
sounds
Yeah,
like.
I mean, I'm always just trying to have a good time, man. We were all there to do a job. I get it, but let's have a good time while we're doing it.
My question was, I know you're a musician and a actor, so I know some people say it's humbling acting because as a musician you can kind of be your own type of persona and you can be outlandish as you want.
Yeah.
But as an actor, you have to listen to someone. You have to get
You have
directions
to listen
and
to
you
someone
have
in
to.
everything that you
And,
do.
but
But
what's
yeah,
the difference?
but I know for me, I've taken what you just said of being musically free. I wasn't that way before, but I had to grow into that and put my foot down and be like, this is who I'm gonna be, whether you like it or you like it or you like it. I don't really care. But no, for me, the two things, like you said, when you do music, everything comes from you. It's things you've been through, whether you're writing, whether you're singing. It's all organic. But when you're acting, of course, you're acting as someone else. And like you said, there may be choices you don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember there was one episode where the director and Jon weren't on the same page. So me and the director maybe had a choice that we thought was right, and Jon came and was like, no, blah blah blah. They're going back and forth. I'm right. Yeah, I'm like, yo, what I'm talking to Regina. I'm like, yo, dude, what's going on? She's like, So those types of moments. But I feel like all those moments that aren't easy are the best moments because you make the next situation that's like that easier because you know how to handle it.
Sure.
And yeah.
Who's your biggest musical influence?
I mean, Michael Jackson is. You could say he's my biggest musical inspiration. Why? Not necessarily because he was freaking the greatest of all time, but because of who he was as a person. And I feel like a lot of people get lost in life when especially in the music industry, where they start to make way and start to get successful. They start to look at them, and it's about me, and I'm this, I'm that. But Michael was always, every time he talked about kids. Why? Because they were the future, and I was a kid at that time. And he was always just trying to inspire and understand, like, we got to start listening to like I was saying before, it's about evolving, it's about growing, and that's what I want to do.
Nick, anything you're dying to ask?
I mean, I have a bunch
Dying.
of questions.
Keep them coming, bro.
My main thing, I guess, would be, when you read Kevin on paper before you even walked into the audition, like, what was your first takeaway? And when you were building him as a character, is it similar to what we're seeing on screen? Or did he evolve over time from, reading the whole script, reading the pilot, okay, after episode 1, episode 2, like, what's different in him?
I'm going to be honest with you. When I auditioned for this, it was one of those, I'm just going to go in here. Because I was actually angry about a previous job that I didn't get, that I auditioned like 8 or 9 times for. Sent to network, and then the network was like, we don't like any of these choices, go back and recast. So I was angry. I didn't want to act. I was mad. I was like, I'm just going to make music. And then my mom was like, we got this audition. I was like, fine. I go in there, and I told, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It was weird. It's always vice versa. It's weird. But I was just like, okay, whatever. All right, yeah. Walked in and was like, okay, and left. Like, I really did not put a lot of, right? And then I get a call that night, we want to send him to network. And I was like,
nice.
But that's Kevin's attitude, too.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
I was
true.
just like, yo, what the heck? So then they called me, and I guess you could say the evolving part, and Jon, I love Jon really because he really pushes me, and I like to be pushed, because I could be the type of guy that's like, yo, if nobody's saying nothing, I'm just but I want to get better. So I loved it. There was moments, because I'm a very, as you can tell, like, I'm a very moving, like, energetic person. And as time went on, starting out, he was a man, in a sense of he was still, and then as he started becoming a child. He was going to jail. He's starting to get. So that was kind of the evolving process, and now he's becoming a man again. I feel like in these episodes, he's getting the information from Eric. So it's dope, man. It shows the building up, the breaking down, the building up.
That's cool. That just shows you what is for you is for you.
Trevor, I wish we could talk for another hour, but we got to wrap it up. Before we go, though, I want to ask you, is there anything you want to plug, anything you want to say? Just
get the music on iTunes. And My Feelings, Trevor Jackson, new video out, Here I Come. Have you seen it? I don't think you've seen it.
I got to watch it.
Definitely got to watch it. And the new music is coming out.
Really.
But, you already got the Instagram and Twitter. One love, y'all. Be well. Thanks for having me.
Great. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm Johnny Manganello. You can find me at Johnny Mangs.
Get ready, we do it again.
Here we go. I'm Erica Renee Davis. You can find me on Snapchat, Periscope, Twitter, Instagram at Erica Renee D. Congrats, CJ Ramirez 49.
I'm Nicholas Grava. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Nicholas Grava.
I'm Erica Jaye Green. You can find me at all social media, Erica Jaye Green. That's spelled Jaye.
And I'm Trevor Jackson. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Trevor Jackson 5 TREVORJACKSON with a 5, not the letter, the number. One love.
Trevor, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
I had fun.
We'll see you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.